Now, a bipartisan group of New York City Council members are sounding the alarm that expedited visas could incentivize more migrants to head to the city. Here to further discuss is Joann Ariola, a New York City Councilwoman and member of the Common Sense Caucus. Good morning, Councilwoman. How are you?
Good morning. I'm well, thank you.
Councilwoman, I know as a representative of the people, you would love to have the streets cleared and people working legally in the city of New York and paying into the tax base. But you're saying slow down a bit because this solution being proposed by the mayor is not the correct step forward. Why is that?
Well, let's just think about all the people who were online for 10 and 12 years waiting to get their work authorizations, who came to this country the right way through sponsorship, through asylum, and all through the right channels, who are now being pushed back for 5 or 10 years so that the asylum seekers and illegal migrants that have arrived can be fast-tracked, and that's just unfair.
Councilwoman, would it be better then if everyone were expedited? Is that the problem, or is it the look of it possibly jumping in line for those who are newly arrived to the city?
It's 100% the look of jumping in line because it is jumping the line, and that will incentivize others to jump the line, and that's unfair. We've had people who've come here, tens of thousands of people who are waiting, going through the right channel, spending thousands and thousands of dollars on legal fees. We work with CUNY Citizenship now, and what we're seeing is people who have been almost to the point of receiving their working visas, a green card, or their citizenship are being pushed back at the very least 5 years before they get that status. And it's completely unfair. And it will just cause the migrant crisis to increase. Now we have asylum seekers and then we have illegal migrants. We haven't even differentiated between the two. Instead of expediting work permits and work authorization, the Biden administration should be expediting judges to see these cases, see who's an asylum seeker, see who needs to be deported, and who's here illegally.
And in a recent statement by the Common Sense Caucus, it reads that expediting work authorizations would essentially allow migrants to, quote, cut the line. How so if there are several other pathways to citizenship that do the same thing?
The path to citizenship has always been one where you come to this country, you're sponsored by a family member, or you are truly seeking asylum. We don't have any idea the real status of the amount, because of the amount of people who are coming in daily. With 3,000 people arriving on a weekly basis, claiming asylum, how many can we really say are asylum seekers, or are they here entering our borders illegally because our borders are not secure? There are people coming from other countries into Mexico just so that they can claim asylum, come into our country, and get pushed ahead for working visas. It's just not fair to those who did it the right way. And there has been a public outcry from that particular population.
Thus, the formation of this nonpartisan caucus.
Yes, absolutely. It's a nonpartisan caucus where 6 Republicans and 2 Democrats. We have the chair is Joe Borelli and Bob Holden. It's a bipartisan chairmanship. And we try to look at it at a common sense approach and also take into consideration the fact that we have all come here from other countries and my ancestors as well as everyone else's, but they did it the right way and they didn't cut the line. And that's what this is. And what it's going to do is promote more illegal migrants to come into our country seeking asylum or claiming to seek asylum without having any type of background in the country that they're coming from, their country of origin, or the fact that they had to seek asylum from that country. There's too many people at one time.
Everything that you're saying to me sounds like it makes perfect sense. I have to believe you've had this conversation also then with the mayor's administration. What has the response been?
We have had multiple conversations with the mayor's administration regarding this. And honestly, they don't disagree. They've just been handed such a tremendous job to do. And I think that they are, at this point, the victims of their own success on this because they have been giving shelter and they have been giving medical care and they have been giving education to students and such. But it just has to stop because we don't see an end date. When is the end date? When does it stop?
And that is the question a lot of people are asking, particularly those who live along those cities in the border states. Joann Ariola, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much for the invitation.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.